And welcome to CCC Live, the Counselor Community Connection. Hello, I'm Marilyn Harriman, Counselor Coordinator of Oakland Schools, retired. How do you pay for college? Oh my gosh, March 2nd is the deadline for seniors to turn in the FAFSA, the federal free application for federal student aid. I know if you're a parent, a senior, or even in college right now, there is definitely a sense of urgency. So if you're interested in the process, this information tonight can help you plan. We've got our scholarship providers and our counselor, Carlos Padilla from Oakland High, who are with us, who can also answer some of your questions. You'll also be able to call in tonight at 874-4541. First, Cynthia, I'd like to come to you. You're the regional coordinator for Cash for College.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have Cash for College workshops scheduled across the state. If you're an OUSD student, you would have received one of these posters. We have over 800 in California and 53 in the Bay Area.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And I know you are coordinating all of this through the East Bay Consortium. Let's see if what our students, we have some students here tonight. Let's hear some of their questions.
Hello, my name is Jocelyn Olivares, and I'm a student at Skyline High School. And my question is, when I'm applying for FAFSA, what if I don't have a social security?
Oh my gosh, I know that's worrying a lot of people. Thank you.
Stand real close to the mic. Real close.
Hi, my name is Kristen Antoine, and I'm from McComas High School. And how do you determine how much a student gets for financial aid?
Okay, wow, hopefully we're gonna answer a lot of those questions. All right, Cynthia Gonzalez. All right, floor is yours. Tell us about Cash for College workshops.
So we encourage all Oakland seniors and any student in the Bay Area to attend a free Cash for College workshop to receive hands-on assistance on your financial aid applications, whether that's the FAFSA or the California DREAM Act. And at all of our Oakland sites, we also will have copies of scholarships that you can take home with you so that you can get more money.
Carlos.
I have a question for Cynthia. What if the students that have already completed their FAFSA?
Speaking to each other.
Should they show up?
Yeah, we highly encourage students, even if you've already completed your application, to attend Cash for College to learn about the different financial aid programs, and if anything, to take home some scholarship applications, and to enter a raffle for a $1,000 scholarship, which one student from each site will win.
You know, I think that's worth saying again. I have gone to a few of these workshops, and I mean, I want you to tell a little bit about what happens in those workshops and what to bring and that kind of thing. But a lot of times I've seen kids say, oh, I didn't need to go, or they don't go because they're doing it at home. Mm-hmm. And then when I saw the lineup for the scholarships, I mean, there must have been 50 of those kids that got an extra $1,000 scholarship because they did what?
They completed their FAFSA or DREAM Act by March 2nd and applied for a California Cal Grant, and of course attended a Cash for College workshop.
They attended the workshop. So if you don't attend, you're not eligible for that extra $1,000. That's very cool. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about what happens. I mean, are parents supposed to come?
We highly encourage students to attend with their parents if possible and bring any tax information you may have. We had a question about what if you have not filed taxes, if you have your W-2 or your prior year taxes. That's very helpful in completing your forms. And also any other financial information. If you have a Social Security card, bring a copy or take a look before you leave home, because it's very important that your name and social are written on your applications just as they are on your card.
Well, now I know parents, now they have a PIN number. Now everything is done online now. Nobody does it by hand anymore.
No, it's strictly online.
So what happens with that? I mean, there's got to be problems with the websites and kids getting all these confusion with their PIN numbers.
Well, it's a very intimidating application, but it's actually quite simple to fill out. There's helpful hints on the right-hand side of the application, and at the workshops we have a lot of volunteers, trained volunteers there to help you complete your form, which is a reason why I would encourage you to attend a workshop to get that assistance.
Well, a lot of our kids don't even have computers at home.
Right, and so most workshops are computer based. So some will have a presentation, but for the most part, we get right onto the computers and help you complete your applications, help answer questions that you may have, and hopefully the goal is to help you submit an application with very little error, because one mistake can really hold your financial aid.
Well, and what if somebody's parents never filed any tax returns ever?
So there are some requirements for filing taxes. If some folks can not file taxes based on the income. For example, if you're single, I don't know the exact number, but it's about a little over $9,000 that you're not required to file. But if you are required, it is a federal requirement that you are filing taxes in order to apply for federal aid.
Okay, so that could be a problem for some people then. And then now sometimes they have to put the parents' information in there. Now, some parents don't want their kids to see their information. They don't want them to know how much they make. How do we handle that?
So students can begin the application for the parent, and then when it comes time for the parent information, the parent can assist the student in completing their section and then move forward that way. But it is very important. We do have a lot of parents that don't want to share their information or don't know where it's going, but it's on a secure website. And once it reaches the financial aid office, it is all confidential.
So it does go on the students. I thought the parents had a separate PIN number or a separate...
To sign. So to sign, a student will have a PIN, and the parent, if applicable. If there's a parent involved, then they would also
What
have
if they
a PIN.
forget the PIN number?
They can retrieve it. There's easy ways to request a duplicate or retrieve a copy.
How would you do that?
There's a PIN website where students can click request a duplicate. Ideally, we have some sheets for them to write their PIN and save it in a safe place, but you can retrieve your PIN. Or if it cancels out, you can apply for a new one.
Okay, because I mean, all this stuff that we were hearing, about problems that kids are having, I guess that it's smoothed over, it's not as difficult?
No, not as difficult. Sometimes people forget their challenge questions, so you can cancel out your PIN and apply for a new one.
Okay, now you have a little clip on what to bring.
Yes, so we have a clip on what to bring to Cash for College workshop.
Okay, let's roll that clip.
Okay, so when I first went to a Catch for College event, I didn't know what to expect. So what you should expect to take, some of the stuff that you should expect to take, your identifications, take your tax information. If you can take your parent with you, that is very helpful, so they can help you fill out all the forms. And once you go in, we have different workshops available. So there's different people separated in different rooms. We have, for tax information, or we have a presentation on the FAFSA for English or Spanish. We also have help for undocumented students for AB 540. So we have different workshops, and we have advisors that help you with the FAFSA one-on-one. So.
And right now we're really trying to promote getting the FAFSA application done and sent on site. And with that we have computers that are there. If you've done it on the paper, or we could transfer that onto a computer, create an account on spot, get your PIN number, or if you have your PIN number already, that's very useful, because then you could use it to submit. You need one and your parents need one. That's sort of your signature to sign the application. And that's what we're promoting. On site, you complete the application and you send it off, and you submit it, so you don't have to worry about it again. Unless you need to update some information, like it. But
I mean, and if you need that one-on-one, like you absolutely do not know what you're doing, or you just don't know what number to put in from the W-2 or something like that, or you don't even know what a W-2 is, we'll sit down with you. I remember sitting down with a parent last year for about 30 minutes filling out the FAFSA, and when we were done, she jumped up and screamed because she was finally done with it. And it was, because she kept raising her hand every 5 seconds, so I just pulled up a chair right next to her and just sat down and did it with her.
Okay, right now, Cynthia, tell us a little bit more about the workshop.
So again, I would encourage anyone that will be attending the workshop to bring copies of financial information and come ready to submit your applications, or at least we can work on as much as possible. We had Oakland Tech last night. They had a great turnout, over 100 people in attendance. We have McClymonds coming up on January 27th, Skyline on the 29th, Oakland High on February 12th. So you can visit either eastbayconsortium.org and click on Money for College, or californiacashforcollege.org. Enter your zip code and it will show all the workshops that are in your area.
Well, that's going to be really important, because I was meeting people over in San Francisco, and actually I was in Sacramento as well, and was telling you about Cash for College workshops. They are all over the state. So if anybody's watching tonight and they know someone somewhere that needs their help, you could just click in Cash for College and it will bring you up all of the information you need. Their website is fantastic. So, Carlos, I visited Oakland High last year and it was fun. I wanted to see if we could roll that clip again that shows what it looks like at the school, and then we'll come back and hear from you.
Sure.
All right, can we roll that clip now?
Hi, my name is Calvin Thatch. I am from Oakland High, and I am a senior, a 12th grader, and I will be applying for college.
So, Calvin, how are you going to pay for college?
I will pay for college by asking my counselor, Mr. Medea. He will recommend me many options that I can use, like financial aid or scholarships.
Carlos Padilla, counselor at Oakland High School.
Hi, Ms. Padilla. Tell me, what are some of the biggest problems you see facing your seniors right now?
The biggest problems would be that some of them think they've graduated, so they don't follow through and complete the courses that they signed up for. The other problem would be from a financial standpoint, make sure that they do their FAFSA form completely and accurately. So they need to get information from their parents in terms of what the income was for last year, either through the 1040 form or the public statements that they get in terms of income. I would say those would be the biggest concerns for the seniors, and also making decisions on, what type of school do they actually want to go to. Most of them have already applied, so now it's just following up with the FAFSA, but also following through with any private scholarships that they can get.
So, what kind of support are you providing at Oakland High?
We have we do classroom presentations. We have people who come in and talk to them. We have the Educational Guidance Center is here. We have 3 different upper bound programs that work with within students also, and there are other organizations who work with our students.
2008, and I graduated from UC Davis in 2012. I'm here to present to you about a scholarship program, East Bay College Fund. How many of you guys have heard about this program? Heard about it?
I've heard about it.
Okay.
My counselors have told me about it, but I just...
Okay. But that's one thing that we do is the money part, where we fund you guys to go to college. And then the second part is we provide personal mentors that will be basically there for you since day one. When you get to college, these are people who've gone through this process. They know what they're talking about. If, for instance, you want to be a lawyer, we match you up with somebody who is another lawyer. And basically they sort of guide you step by step.
Hi, my name is Ayana George, and I attend Oakland High School. I don't know how I'm going to pay for college, but what's going to help me, I hope, is scholarships, grants, and financial aid that I can acquire from whichever school I choose to attend.
Now, you just heard about a scholarship today.
I did.
Was that the first time you'd heard about it?
No, it's not the first time I've heard about it, but this was the first time that it was in extensive detail to where I know what I have to do to actually get these scholarships. So yeah, I'm really thankful for that presentation.
I want to become an ER specialist, so I'm working on trying to get my bachelor's and go to grad school, so it's going to be a lot of money.
It's going to be fun. Well, how are you going to pay for college?
Some help from financial aid and signing up for a lot of scholarships and hopefully getting some scholarships.
Now, what have you done already?
I started on essays. I have a FastWeb account, a CapEx account, and just different places where I can sign up for scholarships. My boss at California Justice, she helps me sign up for all my colleges, and she's helped me like hash things out and try to figure out like what I want to do for what I want to do in college and whatnot.
Hi, my name is Julia, and I'm a senior at Oakland High. And
so tell me, have you applied for college already?
yes, I applied at Fresno State and UC Davis.
So what kind of problems do you want to solve?
I really don't know, but I want to help people. That's my main goal.
Okay, so and what else are you doing to see that you're going to have enough money for college?
I'm working part-time in San Francisco.
What are you doing?
I work at the Asian Art Museum.
First of all, it was great that I got a chance to attend one of the workshops that the East Bay College Fund puts on, and they do a lot right there. And secondly, because Ayanna, George, that you saw on that clip, those kids right now, they are they're in their freshman year of school. And I did talk to her, and she would have loved to have been back on the show tonight to tell you about her first year experience. But she's on her way back to Greenboro. And I think from what she said, she may be back the following year. So sometimes things don't work out exactly like we planned. So Mr. Padilla, I am so glad you're here. This is fun. And I'm glad to see that you have the window seat in your office now. Tell us what's going on at Oakland High and perhaps what the students could be experiencing at their high schools.
Well, right now at Oakland High School specifically, and probably at most high schools, there are workshops going on. One of the other counselors, Jim Wallace, and a volunteer who helps out at school have been running workshops with our American government and economics teachers. So the teachers will bring the students into the computer lab, and they work with them in completing the FAFSA and doing the PIN if they have to. But also so that's the main thing right now. But there's also announcements going on about scholarships. For right now, the Kiwanis Club scholarship is out. PG&E is available. The Lewis Howard Latimer for African American students is out, and that's online. So students need to be aware of whether there are still some scholarships which are paper applications, but more and more are getting to be online applications.
But you know what worries me? I mean, oftentimes, there you are, you're in the office. Who finds you? How do they get the information out there? It's usually just a select group of kids that just keep their right, aggressive, and they go in there and get it, and then the rest aren't doing anything.
Actually, that's true. It's very true that there are a certain amount of students who come by, if not every week, every other week, what's available, what's available, what's available. Calvin Tatch, the first student that was seen on the clip, him and another student, Vinny, actually last year they were very helpful. They ran an Oakland High Scholarship Facebook page where I would give them the information, so we still announced it at school, but then they posted on the Facebook page for all the other students at Oakland High School to see which scholarships were coming in, what was available.
Are you doing it this year?
This year with some other students, we're doing the same thing. The main thing I want to say, though, is there's several things students need to be aware of. One is the deadline date, but also be aware of what the requirements are and read specifically what it says for the scholarship. For example, a few years ago, a young lady applied specifically for the Kiwanis scholarship. Unfortunately, she sent it in through certified mail, and on the application it tells you do not send in by certified mail. So she got the application in about a month after she got it back about a month after the deadline, so she was ineligible, and she would have been a very strong candidate. So students need to be aware of specifically.
Deadlines. I was fortunate to have TV on this morning and hear our president talk about this is really one of his priorities, is to see that our students and our great talent that we have are not getting wasted, and that there's financial opportunities and information out there for them to go to college. And I know Oakland is, often, we've got a lot of students who are not getting what they need to be included and not getting the information. What do you think are we going to be doing differently that might get more of our students involved? I know we've got a lot of programs.
I think we need really the support of the whole faculty. At Oakland High School, there are a number of teachers who are very supportive. I got an email about a scholarship that just came out. I don't remember this specifically, but as soon as I got it, I emailed it, forwarded to teachers that I know of who work with seniors, who will get it out to the seniors. And it's really, again, it's really having teachers kind of make sure the students fill it out. I've gotten to the point that I tell the students, if you give me the application by a certain date, I'll mail it out for you, because I want to make sure that they get it in. But usually I tell them by the end of the month, but like 2 weeks before the deadline. But that's kind of holding their hand, and when, you don't want to do that.
I know, but sometimes we do. But I know what else I wanted to ask, and that is a real concern, because the FAFSA you have to file to get any Cal grants, right? And there's Cal Grant A, B, and C. Pell Grants if you go out of state. And so maybe, I guess we didn't talk about this, but we need to maybe a little bit. What about that GPA verification form? Who is doing that? How does a student get that?
You want to talk about it, or should I?
So we're working with Oakland Unified and the East Bay College Access Network and all the counselors and support staff at the high schools to submit the GPA for all Oakland Unified seniors directly to the California Student Aid Commission. So what's really important for us is the students to ensure that their information is correct with the district, and at this stage to follow up with their counselors to make sure, or create a WebGrants account at webgrants4students.org to ensure that their Cal Grant has been received once they submit their FAFSA or DREAM Act.
And will that say whether they've got the GPA verification form?
It'll say if it's been received.
Okay.
Well, the other issue with the GPA verification form is that students must have a 2.0 grade point average in the 10th and the 11th grade, because the GPA is based on the 10th and 11th grade semesters. Mm-hmm. A senior right now who does not have a 2.0, but if they get a 2.0 by the time they graduate in June, they still have a September 2nd deadline to submit verification that they did graduate with the 2.0. So it's still possible to get a Cal Grant. But, the best thing I can say, and I think every adult will tell you, is get that 2.0 minimum GPA. In fact, I think it was last year or a couple of years, no, it was last year, I believe, Governor Brown wanted to even raise that minimum GPA.
Well, I can understand. Well, all right. So we've got a lot to talk about right now, and I want to talk to some people about our other financial aid resources. The KDOL students sent out a little roving reporter, and they went next door, and I think to Met West, and asked a couple of kids on how much do you think 4 years of college will cost. Let's roll that clip.
Hi, my name is Marina Gastelum, and I'm in the 10th grade.
My name is Fatima Jalil. I'm in the 10th grade, and I go to Met West High School.
My name is Kaya. I'm in the 10th grade, and I go to Met West High School.
I'm Michael Quintana. I go to Met West, and I'm a sophomore. I'm Mohammed. I go to Met West High, and I'm in 10th grade.
4 years of college. Well, the college I want to go to, I'm not sure. I'm just going to say it off my head, $1 million.
So I'm pretty positive. Last time I looked at the brochure, it was about 26 for each year. So I think that I would probably need maybe 70,000 or more to go throughout all 4 years.
Like $500,000.
100,000.
I'm gonna take y'all name off.
A lot, like some kind of $1,000.
Wow. Well, some of those kids had outrageous answers. $1 million? Oh my gosh. Joining us now are Claudia Montesano and Jasmine Segura. Claudia, let's go to you. Tell us about your role at UC Berkeley.
At UC Berkeley, I work in the Financial Aid and Scholarships Office. I am the outreach coordinator, and our office works with a lot of students once they file the FAFSA or the DREAM Act application, and we give them their financial aid based off of the information that we get from those forms.
So they've already been accepted when they come to you?
Not necessarily. They have to have applied. So as long as they've applied, they would put down on the FAFSA which colleges that they want their information to go to, and then once we have their application, we can give them, package them with financial aid.
Wow. How many are you handling at a time?
That's
thousands. I mean, 30,000 applications. I mean, tell me.
It's thousands and thousands of applications. I really am not quite sure how many, but and I actually think that I got that first question wrong. That they do need to be. No, they don't. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we have some other people here who can jump
can
in
dissent if they want.
and help us if they
Sure.
want. Now, does a person, if I called in, would I be able to get you in person, or are you just behind a screen dealing with all kinds of numbers in front of you?
Well, typically we have a front line. Basically, a student can call in and talk to a person or create a ticket online. Each university is different in the way that they handle it, but usually they can reach someone and who can help them with basic questions. And then if they have something more complicated, then they can talk to a counselor. It can move up and be escalated to one of us.
Okay, so now, I mean, I think, what is it, like $75 for each school that just to apply?
For the FAFSA?
Or not for the FAFSA,
for
but
the
for
application.
just to apply to any of the UCs? 70, something like that. I mean, it's a lot. Now, do the packages, can they help with that, or do they have to get fee waivers, or how does that work?
The fee waiver is built into the application, so it's completely separate from the financial aid process.
So if they needed a fee waiver for those applications, how would they get that? Do they ask for one?
When they apply, so if they apply to a UC or a CSU, they have to enter their parent income information, and then if they qualify for a fee waiver, it lets them know in that moment on the application.
Because I know in the old days they used to come to the school and I'd have maybe 20 or 50 that I could give out, but they don't do that anymore. So how does that work?
It's built directly into the application.
Just directly into the application. Wow. So what are some of the errors that students make, Claudia?
Well, students sometimes they make errors on reporting their tax information on the FAFSA. Sometimes they get confused with the adjusted gross income and certain numbers that they're supposed to put from their tax information onto the FAFSA. But the FAFSA really is very good in telling you what line to look for in your taxes in order to put, what number goes where. So sometimes there's confusion with that. If the school is looking at the information that the student provides and sees that something doesn't look right, we'll ask you for extra verification, extra documentation in order to correct that.
Okay, now how do you ask?
We'll send an email. So usually, actually with Berkeley, it's a My Financial Aid that they log on. It's a portal, and we send them a message. So definitely, once students apply for the FAFSA or the DREAM Act application, they should be monitoring their emails and any sort of portal for all of this universities that they sent their FAFSA to, just to see if there's anything extra that they need to submit.
Okay, so we're just assuming automatically that anybody who's applying for college has an email address that they check regularly.
They would have, well, typically the university will give them an email address that is specifically for the.
Okay, so that,
Right, so they would have a Berkeley email address if they have applied, and then they can, or they would have to log into that My Financial Aid, and they would automatically have that once they've applied.
And if they don't have computers, then they can go to the library and other places at schools. I mean, sometimes some schools, our schools are pretty well covered, but some schools out there, computers are gone and they're not working. And so I know that it's been a real frustration for some parents and for some of our students, but it sounds like so much has been done to make it a lot easier than it used to be. So don't get discouraged, whatever you do. That's one of the problems, I think, with our kids. A lot of them, they get discouraged with the process and they give up. I mean, I've seen really top-notch kids just kind of say, oh, this is too much, I'm not going to do it. And I've seen that unfortunately happen. What kind of tips do you have for students?
Make sure to fill out the FAFSA or the DREAM Act early, as soon as you can. Awards will be given out based on, first come, first served basis. Basically, some universities will have institutional aid that they give out on top of the state and the federal aid. So definitely do it early. Make sure that you're checking your messages to see if there's any sort of verification that you have to turn in. That's really important, because if there's something that's missed and you don't send in a verification form, you won't get any financial aid from that institution. So it's really important to make sure that you're keeping on top of all of that.
Okay, well, that's really exciting. Does anybody have any comments that they want to make about that at this point? Okay, thank you, Claudia. Jasmine, I am so excited about the information that you have. I think it's been a couple of years now, and it's been always, as a counselor in the past, my biggest worry was about my undocumented students, and I just experienced a lot of heartbreak with some of those issues. Tell us about what's going on for undocumented students.
Yeah, we're very excited. This is the second year that the California Dream Act is open to undocumented students. So the California Dream Act increases the opportunity and makes undocumented students eligible for state-based financial aid. And this is the second year that the California Dream Act is in effect. And California is one of 5 states in the nation to be able to provide state-based financial aid to undocumented students. So it really has increased the access to higher education for students that never before have had access to financial aid. So a lot of them are now eligible to be able to go to private universities, to go to community college and not worry so much about the inaccessibility of college, and since they're not eligible for federal financial aid.
Wow, one of the worries that I've been asked, and I'm wondering about a lot of our students whose parents, they're really afraid to have them apply because they're afraid that they might be deported or might be, put the whole family in jeopardy. How do we deal with that?
Yes, we're partnering up with a lot of institutions and organizations like Cash for College, for example, to talk about the personal experience and benefits of the California Dream Act. We are trying to encourage and really educate also the parents, provide as much information as we can to let them know that the California Dream Act is confidential and that all the information that they share in the application is not going to be shared with immigration officials. So we're doing what we can and doing a lot of presentations not only to undocumented students and educate them about the benefits of the California Dream Act, but also really trying to involve the parents for them to be safe, to be able to provide the information that's needed to complete the application.
So I did hear that no information is shared with immigration, so they do not have access to that.
Yes, they don't have access. So the application is confidential. So like it was mentioned before, that as soon as they turn in the application, that is only the information that is only used to really make sure that they're eligible for state-based financial aid, and it's not shared with immigration officials.
Okay, so if you know of anybody or working with anybody who is an undocumented student and they're a little concerned, there is hope. There is funding available to help and to support you. In fact, I just heard about the lawyer accepted to the bar who is an undocumented student still. He's been in the country since he was like a baby and still doesn't have his citizenship, but they did accept him in the bar, and that is a very first. So we're really excited about that. So please do not give up on your dreams. It is time. All right, so thank you very much for that information. Let's go back to our little KDOL students who went out to interview, and they asked some of the kids how they thought they were going to pay for college. Let's roll that clip.
Well, usually I wonder that I'm gonna do scholarships. I'm also gonna rely on my parents. That I want to work. I want to work before I go, so I can have a job too. So yeah.
So I'm hoping to maybe use the money that my mom saved up for me, and if that's not enough, then I will probably take out a loan and also try for scholarships and grants.
I plan to pay for college through mostly scholarship because college is very expensive.
Get a job, work hard, play it later.
I don't plan on paying for college. I plan on getting like a scholarship.
I am so excited to come to this segment of our show where I've got Regina Jackson from the East Oakland Youth Development Center and Yancy Davis from the East Bay College Fund. Regina, let's start with you. I mean, you have done so much, and taking your kids, to China?
Yes.
This year, and to Washington, D.C. Every time I turn around on Facebook, there they are somewhere else, and they're just doing amazing things. Tell us what's happening. I know your new building is beautiful. Tell us what's going on.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, we're renovating and constructing, adding new buildings. We're really excited about preparing our seniors for this next year of college. There's just so much busting forth. We're just never a dull moment, and we're on skates. But the most exciting thing is what's coming up, our Cash for College event. It's a community opportunity to come down to EOYDC from any school
And you can look right at the camera and tell them.
Any school. Come on down to 8200 International Boulevard on February 8th from 11 to 2, and we can assist you with starting and finishing your FAFSA.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Now, in the years past, I know that you've had students in a scholarship fund. Is that going to be possible this year? Do we know?
Absolutely. One of the most important things about persisting in college is obviously to be able to fund it, and that's an ongoing challenge for our students. So EOYDC has its own private scholarship fund. We are the administrator for the Oakland Black Firefighter Scholarship Program, and we are fortunate to work with the College Bound Brotherhood Scholarship Program as well. So there's lots and lots of money out there.
Ooh.
All you have to do is work for it.
Lots of money. So let's see, you brought a student with it. Is there maybe something that you'd like to ask her?
Well, Kristen, what about Senior Thursdays have you learned to better prepare you for going to college? You need to step up to the mic.
Tell us about it.
And she incidentally is one of our young people that went to China and climbed the Great Wall.
Oh my gosh, tell us a little bit about your experience.
It was very different, and it was like a challenge climbing a Great Wall, but like I learned a lot about myself.
Okay. And how has being in the East Oakland Youth Development Center program made a difference for your life?
Like it helped me like take advantage of like opportunities and like applying myself to a lot of things, and just like applying to a lot of scholarships and like doing it on time.
Have you started the FAFSA already?
Yes. Only thing is like I messed up on the taxes part, so like I gotta wait till it get processed and then go back and change it. So yeah.
Okay, so you figured that out?
Yeah.
Okay, and you know you got to be at a workshop to be eligible for that extra $1,000. Any other questions you'd like to ask?
That's correct. You know, what did you think a year ago this time that you were going to be going to college?
Did I think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it wasn't really like on the top of my mind. Like I really wasn't.
And what do you
there.
think about it now?
Like I really want to go. Like that's my main focus now.
And what do you want to do with your life?
I want to be a pediatrician when I grow up.
You go, girl.
All right. Hey, we need that. I know there's a very quiet baby here tonight. Yancy, you brought that very quiet baby, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And we may have a budding pediatrician at some point, not quite yet.
Be on the lookout.
All right. So tell us about your role in the East Bay College Fund.
So with East Bay College Fund, I'm the College Access and Success Manager. So what I do is I manage our college access programs at the three main high schools that we work at, which are at Castlemont, which is my alma mater, Oakland Tech, and Oakland High. And so there we provide 3 full-time college advisors to work inside the college and career centers there to work with every student at the school, and especially the seniors, to make sure that they are applying for college, they're applying for their, filling out their FAFSAs, filling out scholarship information, and then hopefully applying for our scholarship.
Wow, well that's right. You graduated from Castlemont.
Yes, I
did. Very cool. And we're going to be, as we talk about some of the issues that come up, you know, I mean, first of all, I want to thank Andy and Barb Fremder for this amazing program, the East Bay College Fund. When they first started, I think it was 2002, we had them on CCC Live, and for the first time, you know, they started to present it, and how it has grown, and the students that have followed all the way through now. In fact, one of mine, whose parents were mine at McClymonds High School, their son is now a lawyer, and he graduated from, he was one of the recipients of a scholarship, graduated from San Diego and Stanford Law School last year. I did get to see him graduate.
Wow.
So
great.
held him as a baby, and how exciting that was. And he was indeed a recipient of this great scholarship. So what do you anticipate this year for how many scholarships we might have available?
So this year we're really excited to say that we're going to be offering at least 50 new scholarships for Oakland students.
This is just amazing. And I know that people in the community, if you want a place to put some of your money to help Oakland students, we've got Marcus Foster Scholarship Fund and the East Bay College Fund, East Bay Consortium. These are places that will make that dollar work directly for students. So please think about it. If you're in a giving mood, let's encourage that a little bit.
Don't forget EOYDC.
And don't forget EOYDC, because that's where the funding sources come from. And I go to all your fundraisers too. I do.
Thank you.
And they're a lot of fun besides. Now, Yancy, how does a student apply for that?
So if you want to apply for the East Bay College Fund Scholarship, you go to our website, which is www.eastbaycollegefund.org. And on there, you'll see our beautiful website where we're showcasing some of our seniors. Right below that picture is a big old link we can go and click, and it'll take you straight to our application where a student makes an account there, and they can fill out the application online.
So are you getting the information out to the school sites?
We are. So again, I am going around to every high school in the district and making presentations about our scholarship. So if students haven't seen me already, they'll see me very soon. And in that we're doing that, we're posting on the internet. And so yeah, we're getting the word around so students can
Okay, so one thing that's important for our kids is when they've got to go ask for them. They've got to go to workshops when they're offered. A lot of times they don't go, and that's the thing. So those of you who are watching and you know people who need that support, there you are. You're going to be that mentor, and you never know what a difference you're going to make in someone's life. Let's see, what about your scholarships? Do students apply directly? How does that happen?
Yes, they can come anyway. They can apply online, they can come in person. We'll review all of the attachments and they go through an interview process. So we have quite an extensive process for vetting our young people. But then we follow them to and through college and into graduate school and into the professional careers. We have a nationally ranked college, youth-led college mentoring model to help support their persistence, whether they go to Hawaii or Harvard or Peralta or Marquette or anywhere in between.
Wow. And we didn't talk too much about community college, and so Cynthia, let's come to you and tell us about what the consortium does, and also maybe tell us about community college scholarships.
Okay, so our scholarship usually is announced in April, so keep an eye out on our website at eastbayconsortium.org. We're anticipating to award about 40 scholarships, and we award scholarships to above a 2.5 GPA for community college or 4-year out-of-state, any institution that you attend after high school. And did you want to know about financial aid?
I do.
College? So we have, through the state, we have the Board of Governors fee waiver, which if you qualify covers tuition and fees. And if you are undocumented, you can also apply for the Board of Governors fee waiver at any California community college. And if you're eligible for a Pell Grant through the FAFSA, by applying for the FAFSA, you also can receive funding to help with your housing or meals, books, supplies, etc.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So now I did remember a question one of our students asked about different amounts. How do you know how much you're going to get?
So you will not, when you complete your FAFSA, it does give you an estimate if you qualify for a Pell Grant or a federal student loan, but you won't know your total financial aid package until the financial aid offices review your financial aid, and then you receive a financial aid award letter letting you know what you...
Do you have to know what school you're going to go to before you apply?
No. So when you submit your FAFSA or DREAM Act, you can list up to 10 schools, and then there's a process where you can list more than 10, but you list all the schools you have applied to or plan to apply to. And then you would get an award letter so that you can help make that decision on May 1st as to where you will be attending.
Okay, so now May 2nd is the deadline. Now,
March 2nd.
March 2nd, I'm sorry. Whew. So it's always March 2nd, too. It's always been that. They've kept it forever. So what I'm wondering, so now let's say I don't turn it in on March 2nd and I kind of think, oh, I've blown it. Or maybe I'm going to go to community college for a year and see what I really want to do. Can you still apply?
Yeah, of course. March 2nd is a deadline for California to apply for the California Cal Grant, and your FAFSA could be submitted at any point after then, even the DREAM Act. So always think of financial aid as first come, first serve, though. But if you've missed that deadline, then don't be discouraged and still get it in.
Okay. So don't get discouraged. Get it in. Don't miss deadlines, because as Carlos said, how important those deadlines are. Now, I think our little roving reporters went out again, and they asked, what have you done to prepare for college? Oh, no, this one, I think they asked about how they got scholarships, loans, or if they knew the difference between a loan, a scholarship, financial aid. Let's see if that's what that is. Roll that clip.
Yeah, scholarship is free money that they give you that you you got, and then a loan is like something you have to pay back after time.
All I know is that a scholarship is the money you get when you maintain like a specific grade, and then a loan is the money you get from a bank that you need to pay back.
I think financial aid is like when you don't got the money necessarily and they help you, like the school helps you pay for it. A loan is something that the student take out and they got to pay back.
Well, I know a scholarship is when you get a full ride or even half the ride. Financial aid is like when the college helps you pay for it, but you still have to pay a little bit. And yeah.
Okay, wow, that's fun. Those kids are something. Some of them really know, and others just are really clueless. And I think that's kind of the truth, isn't it? Some of our kids are very knowledgeable, and others are totally clueless. Marcus Foster Association. Marcus Foster has, first of all, when he was my superintendent at one time. So that the foundation has been going on in his name, has done some amazing things, and I've been working with that scholarship committee. I won't tell you how many years, but all my 10 years or 12 years at McClymonds, I was involved in and continue to this day. Tell us about the scholarship and how students are going to be able to apply.
Sure, we are completely revamping some of the aspects of the Marcus Foster Education Fund Scholarship. This year we're calling it the Making Real Change Marcus Foster Education Scholarship, because we're really encouraging students to be talking about how we are making real change in Oakland and seeing that coming through in some of their essays. We're also revamping the scholarship application process itself. So when they log on and go to the website to apply, the application opens on January 31st. It will be much easier process for them to apply. Before there were many, many steps in the application. Now it'll be much clearer and it'll be a faster application for them to get through.
You know, one of the things I really liked about those applications, I think lately, has been the prompts. Do you remember what kind of questions, those essays that those kids have to answer?
You know, that's something we're actually going to be changing this year. One of, I believe our essay is going to be more directly about how students are influencing change in their community and in Oakland, because that's what we're really focusing on, as making real change in Oakland. And there's also more scholarship opportunities this year with applying for this application. We always have at least 15 donors that have given, and many of them for over 30 years, for the scholarship fund. This year's also includes the College Bound Brotherhood Scholarship that Regina Jackson had mentioned. This specifically for African American male students who are going to any school, a 2-year, 4-year vocational or technical school, and also the East Bay College Access Network scholarships. That one has a specific incentive for Oakland students, and we're asking that schools in Oakland Unified, including the continuation alternative schools, if they can raise their FAFSA or California Dream application rates by 10% over what they had last year, they can be qualified for that additional monies as well, which is really another incentive for students to get their FAFSA or California Dream Act application in by March 2nd.
That's wonderful. Now, I think the Port of Oakland usually is involved and done some great internships and scholarships for our students. Will they be involved this year?
Yes, they will. This year, their scholarship application will be online. This will be the first year that they're moving to an online application, but it will be a separate application from the Marcus Foster's scholarship application.
Well, they've been just great. We just thank all the people at the Port for those great scholarships, and at Clorox, because we know both of those organizations, the workers there have done so much to contribute to those scholarships and mentoring the students along the way, and that really means so much. Carlos.
Yes.
Other organizations that have given some amazing scholarships. I know Kiwanis is one, but what about my Oakland Rotary #3? Do we have a Rotary scholarship?
There is an Oakland Rotary. In fact, I'm going to a luncheon on February 11th to meet the, I guess, the new person that we'll be working with, and they'll tell us how many students we can. Now, the Rotary is a little bit different because their schools are allowed to nominate a certain amount of students. And this is Oakland schools, so it includes St. Elizabeth's, Bishop O'Dowd, Holy Names, and the public schools that I know of that can nominate students. But there are other scholarships. I think the big ones, obviously the Bill Gates, the deadline just ended yesterday. I know we were working on submitting nominations or recommendations, so that's kind of crazy. Quest is another scholarship that comes out. That's an excellent scholarship for students who want to go to private schools.
So they're there.
They're there.
And our middle income families have an opportunity now. Is that right, Claudia?
Yes, there's a new middle class scholarship through the California Student Aid Commission for families whose adjusted gross income is up to $150,000. And all you need to do is apply, submit your FAFSA or DREAM Act by March 2nd.
This is so great because I tell you, I mean, has been really hard. For those families in that area, and really, I'm sure Claudia probably will come back and maybe tell us some of those sad stories that parents have had because they just really haven't qualified for anything. They've just made a little bit too much money, it seemed. So that's great news. There is some extra support out there. Thank you to our governor and Janet Napolitano. Excuse me, Janet, for messing your name up. But we are very glad that she's come over as a head of UC and has helped to make this happen. That's what I understand. I think we can move on to one other little segment right now and see what those kids out there have said, what they have done to prepare for college. Let's roll that clip.
I'm going to say that I've prepared in lots of ways. From 9th grade to 12th grade, I'm going to keep studying. I'm going to keep my grades up. There's always going to be A's. Always going to get ready.
Anything, I've been trying to bring my grades up so that I can apply for scholarships because that's the only thing that I'm facing leaning on other than the money that's being saved for me. So, yeah.
To be honest, nothing. I have not. Sorry.
Nada.
And I know Carlos just mentioned the incentive award, UC Berkeley. Man, that is a big one. Carlos, you want to go to the mic and say something real quick about it?
Just that it's specifically for the University of California, students who attend the University of California, Berkeley. It's open to all of the Oakland public school students at different school districts throughout Northern California, even Southern California. It's a great scholarship, not so much because of the financial scholarship, but really the support that program gives to the students and helps them be successful at Cal. And for those people who've gone to Cal, you know how intimidating it can be when you're 18, 17 years old. So it's a great scholarship. But check with your juniors. You should be checking with the person responsible for that.
Okay, thanks, Carlos. All right, well, that was something I was totally involved with, and it's amazing that we were guaranteed a student from every high school, and I think it's changed a little bit, but we've done really well with that. Right now, I'd like to switch what we're doing now and talk about how do our students manage their money once they get to college. I mean, man, I've heard some stories, and I bet, Yancey, you're not that far away from it.
Nah.
Was that a problem?
It definitely was. Kind of going in to kind of like, I was fortunate enough to get a lot of scholarships where the money kind of came to my pocket. So again, having to manage that money and like, having temptations to spend it all at once, getting credit cards for the first time, having my bank account for the first time, and seeing money come and go, and especially with that freedom, and that money can go really fast.
What did you do new?
I guess what it was new, just me buying things for my dorm, kind of like, again, buying everything at once, but at the same time, like I said, with getting your credit card, that's like free money that you feel like you can spend right away. And again, if you didn't get the proper training when you were in high school.
So what'd you buy for the dorm?
I bought a radio, I bought a refrigerator, I bought sheets and covers for that, a TV, all that stuff to make my dorm room comfortable.
Oh, it was just your room, not even for everybody else, just your own little room.
Yeah.
Okay, so here was all of a sudden your scholarship money, and it seemed like you were rich.
Yeah, and then I wish someone would have told me about the opportunities to save that money, to see that money like grow, put it in investments accounts. If I'd have learned that stuff in high school, I probably would still have some of that money right now.
So how do we teach that?
So I know one of the big things that we try to do with East Bay College Fund is we teach financial literacy workshops in the high schools, and so that way we try to really get students to understand what does it mean to really take advantage and take leadership in your own finances right now, so that way you don't have those temptations and those pressures. You're on top of it when you get to college.
Wow, I mean, I got questions. I remember one of my students that I'd worked really hard with over 3 or 4 years and helped her get a lot of scholarship money, and then she went out. I think over that time she had spent a couple $1,000s on DVDs and games. I couldn't believe it. I was so upset because I was going without coffee so she could have have some scholarship money. How do we help kids learn how to manage their money? Claudia, do you have some tips?
Yeah, so there is a big effort right now at UC Berkeley, and I think nationwide, to really push even from high school to college students to know how to manage their money. So there are a lot of tools out there, whether you go to a workshop. UC Berkeley is working on ones to have peer mentors come and teach other students about financial literacy. But there are tons of tools out there, like the Federal Student Aid website has a budgeting calculator where you can go in and put in all of your income, which would include all of your financial aid and your scholarships and your costs. So for your tuition and books and everything, and kind of help budget. I would really encourage people.
A budgeting calculator?
Yeah. So I would really encourage people that students, once they get their financial aid, to not just spend it right away, to really make a plan and know how much they have and how much they need to spend.
So do they have access to all of their money? So if I get $2,000 or $3,000 in scholarship, do I have access to that all of a sudden?
Well, typically it's split in half. And then it goes towards your bill. So it will pay off any of your bill per semester, and then anything that's left over, you would get in a refund, and then that would be yours to spend.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know when a few times I go up to Berkeley during September, and here's all those credit card people out there, and they're giving cute little things. I got a great little basketball with a hoop, just like I was one of the kids, and it's really tempting. So what about credit cards?
So again, if you are going to get a credit card, just really understand that is money that you pay back, and that's money that if you spend it, you have there'll be interest on top of that. So really, if you are going to get a credit card, use it really only in the instance of an emergency. And again, spend only what you have, because you don't want to spend money that you don't have. So again, only spend it if you know you can pay that right off.
I would love to hear you say that again.
So again, if it's money that, this is not money that you just automatically have to spend right away. You only spend the money that you have. So if you don't have that money in your account already, don't use it. And again, if you're going to buy something with your credit card, pay it right off immediately.
Because sometimes people, when they think they got a credit card, it says your credit limit is $1,000. They think, oh, I've got $1,000.
No,
and they don't have $1,000, do they? Or two, or whatever it is. So, what again would you recommend to students about using credit cards to pay off loans or debts?
Well, first of all, I would say don't use a credit card to pay off a loan or a debt. Definitely, we would encourage savings, and there's a way to plan in order to put away, even if you think you don't have enough to save, to make sure you're putting in a little bit away every month, every time something comes in order to pay that off of that debt. But credit cards, if you're going to use them wisely, like he said. Sometimes, credit unions can have really low interest rate credit cards, and that's really important.
Wow, thank you all. Tonight, the hour has gone really fast. This is a new set. We love it. Work closely with your counselors. There's money out there. Do not get discouraged. The president did say, know what you owe, so watch about borrowing. This is Marilyn Harriman for CCC Live, the Counselor Community Connection. Bye for now.